How do you think the asylum or the hospital was perceived by the public at the time?
Well, probably not very well because of the 8-foot fence that was put around it, I'm sure. And I'm sure, I'm not sure how Selkirk welcomed that. At that one time, especially if you're putting people with mental illness along with criminals, so right away that just sort of labeled people with mental illness as being dangerous. And I'm sure they weren't welcomed very well. But over the years, obviously, there's been a huge acceptance because so many people are dealing with mental health issues in their life. So I'm sure they weren't, I can't really speak for the general population, but I'm sure anybody in town probably wasn't too pleased about having a huge facility here. But in the end, it probably at one point, I'm sure 50% of the population in Selkirk worked there, or the other 50% worked at the Selkirk rolling mill. So it produced a heck of a lot of jobs for people. But initially, I don't think it was probably perceived very well.
I don't know how Selkirk itself perceived it, but when I was young and moved into Winnipeg and people learned I came from Selkirk, they had very negative things to say.
True. Yeah.
But I lived on Manitoba Avenue, and so did a lot of my other family, and we had no problems with the people going up and down the street, and my neighbors and that, they just accepted it.
That's true, Lorna, because I mean, anybody that would, if you'd hear, because I grew up in Selkirk, and anybody outside of Selkirk, if they heard you were from Selkirk, they didn't think of Selkirk the city or the town, they thought of the mental health center.
Yes.